Iron Kingdoms at War Battle Report. Cryx versus Cygnar, approximately 17 points. We played on our Ancient Ruins battlefield terrain, and G-Dog's army was a Cryx army which was approaching from the west where the ancient ruin pillars are. In the middle of the battlefield was a small hovel and some roads and walls. On the right was the ancient ruins pyramid, and that's where my Cygnar army was going to come from the east. A roll call on G-Dog's Cryx army was a Scrap Thrall, Necrotech, a Slayer Warjack, Denegra, and 3 Bonejacks, 2 Deathreppers, and a Defiler. And moving over to the east side of the battlefield where my Garrison's army was deployed, I took a Cygnar army with a chain gun and his crewman or grunt, and an ironclad. Caraslone as my warcaster, a charger, and Dan Blythe and Bull, mercenaries working for Cygnar. In the first turn, we spent most of our time just maneuvering and moving into position. G-Dog began to move through the ruins, and I began to move through the pyramid walls on my side of the battlefield. Kind of split myself more or less into 2 groups. G-Dog left his army pretty concentrated during that first turn. So we just kind of jockeyed for position. My goal was to get some nice firing lanes and to get him to move into the open where I could shoot at him. And we were going to see how that was going to turn out as we got into the second and the third turn of the game. There's G-Dog's army moving towards me. When we got to turn 2, things started to pick up a little bit. G-Dog clumped his Bonejacks behind a building. His Necrotech and Slayer a little slower, moving in from behind. I deployed my chain gun down a road and some of my other ranged units behind a wall. Again, kind of hoping that I was going to get some nice lines of fire on his army as it approached. That's why he huddled behind that building. He knew I was looking to get him with some ranged fire. I had some nice ranged units in my army. That's why I took Caraslone as my warcaster, and he was piling behind that house so that I wouldn't be able to see him very well. When we get to turn 3, that's when the fighting really started. He began to move some of his Bonejacks forward. I thought maybe I was going to get to beat on him with my ironclad a little bit, but after he wounded me with some ranged attacks, some spells that he channeled through his Bonejacks, which were a real pain as arc nodes. He used them repeatedly to hit me with spells when Denegra was very safely in the distance, and it didn't work out too well for me. On my turn, on turn 3, I took some shots, and Bull did some damage, but not too much, on one of his Deathreppers, and that was about it. So between the high defense of the Deathreppers, they're very agile, and that stone wall there, as you can see, with the +4 cover, very hard to put a dent in his army. In turn 4, G-Dog suddenly closed on me, and he had my ironclad, which I'd kind of separated out. I cast my feet during my side of the turn to get a range bonus. I decided, since he was closing on me, this had to be the turn that I took out his warcaster, and because he had me so isolated, and he took out my trencher chain gun crew in this turn, that I really was at a forced disadvantage now. So with Caraslone and Bull and my charger, I launched everything I had at Denegra right there behind that stone wall. The problem was, with her 16 defense and that +4 for a stone wall, I really had to be good. So that's why I chose the firing squad feat that turn. Unfortunately, the charger missed twice, Bull missed, Cara did hit with her rifle, and with the firing squad bonus I got an extra attack for Bull. That came to nothing, and so that was the turn I knew I had to take out Denegra, and I did virtually nothing. I just dented her. That meant that turn 5 was just time for G-Dog to mop up, and he advanced on me with a Bonejack, with a Warjack, and the Scrap Thrall, and Caraslone at that point didn't stand a chance. I knew in turn 4 I had to take out Denegra because he was just too close to me with too many heavy-duty units, and that was pretty much the end of the battle. And I saw it coming, unfortunately. So thanks for watching. If you want more information on Our Kingdoms at War, you can visit the blog at blitzbattles.blogspot.com.